tell me what you have seen in the professions as you look at the broad spectrum, not only dentistry, but related to the professions.
Even when we think about medicine in general and we incorporate dentistry into medicine, throughout my journey with my son, there have been many times, even just at a medical appointment, where he's having a hard time. The doctor will come in and basically just look at me and say, well, like, what can I do? Is he feeling okay? Right? And they're having a conversation with me, never usually saying anything to my child. And many times after they've had a conversation with me, they're just ready to wrap things up. And my question is always, aren't you going to look at him? Like, shouldn't we undress him so that you can at least physically check his body? And this was during times when he's being cared for by someone primarily other than my husband and I. So I always have that constant worry that something's happening in his life. He's nonverbal. He can't explain it to me. So the fact that a medical doctor would not physically look at his body unless I suggested it or asked for it, wouldn't look in his ears, wouldn't look at his throat. I always, of course, come equipped with a toothbrush. And I'm like, if you show him this toothbrush, he'll open his mouth nice and wide. You could look in his mouth. You can do a blood pressure for him. There were so many assumptions that were made just by looking at my child. And there were so many things that I worried about if I wasn't there, wouldn't have happened for him.
So that actually highlights a frustration that so many parents and caregivers find when they have a family member or a friend with different abilities that need a special approach, finding the accommodation that works. You know, it's interesting. You talk about showing his toothbrush and he'll open his mouth. You know, that's just proof that somebody who is determined to make that part of the child's everyday can persist and do that. And that's because you're a hygienist, and hygienists don't ever want their children to have gum disease or tooth decay. So neither do dentists, by the way. And that's just an important take on this, that we can help train, and you just came with that extra skill, that extra love, that extra time, that extra caring to find the accommodations.